Okay, in this video, I want to talk a little bit about breaking old habits. I've been thinking a lot about this morning and before now, but especially this morning. And so it's on my mind, and I was trying to find an example that would fit what I'm trying to talk about, but it was difficult. Finally, I found one. And anyway, first off, I want to say this. I'm not trying to be mean, but you know how people like to, some people, not everybody, do the thing of telling the punchline before you get to it. Well, also whenever you want to talk about a subject, some people want to give their opinion before you've been able to finish yours. And like in a video, this is going to take me more than one video to get through what I think. I already have my opinion, and I'm not looking for anybody's words of wisdom. And I'm not trying to be mean, but like I said, people who want to tell the punchline. There's no punchline, but you get what I'm talking about. I have my own views on why this happens and what, and onward. So I don't want somebody to throw theirs in and then say, well, she stole mine. No, I have my own, but it's going to be in other videos after this. Got it? All right, let's get to it. Okay, so whatever it is, the bad habit, it starts off small, but over, say, a few years, not a lot of years, but over a few years. It could be a lot of years, but let's say few. It gets bigger and bigger, and you're doing whatever it is more and more in different ways, and you keep doing it. But all along, all the way, you feel like there's something that's dishonest, or you don't feel comfortable with it. Maybe it feels like you're cheating on something, or there's so many things, that negative feelings you could have on it, but at the same time it's achieving whatever you want it to. And you know that other people do it too. Not everybody, but some do. And this was what I was trying to find an example of that would fit what I'm trying to talk about. Because I'm not talking about anything like a chemical dependency, no drugs, alcohol, no hurting anybody. It just doesn't feel honest. It feels dishonest in some way. I was having a difficult time trying to find an example, but I finally did. Okay, now before I get to that, I want to mention this, that in a way you want to change it. You want to stop doing it, or you want to change the way you do it. It feels like you're in a way cheating yourself. What if you wouldn't do it that way? What might you find out if you did it a way that feels more honest? What would you find out? Would you have good or bad results? And maybe, like I said, I have more videos I want to make about how you might feel like, what if you didn't find out it was better? What does it say about you? Those are in future videos, okay? I don't need words of wisdom, like I said. Anyway, to get on. You could, and if you didn't do what you're doing, you could be doing something better. That doesn't feel dishonest, but it could be something better. And let's see. Now, and I also wrote, I'm looking at my notes here, I also wrote, it needs improving, whatever you're doing. It could be something that you just need to improve, or to get that feeling, of dishonesty out of it. And I also wrote that if you're honest with yourself, you keep telling yourself that it's wrong, okay, and you shouldn't do it, but you keep doing it. Now, you got all that? That's a whole lot of stuff right there. And yeah, like I said, future videos too. I'm going to try to refer back to this one. We'll put them in a playlist in order. But anyway, I'm going to go from here. I finally found an example that worked for me in this. It's not the example. It's just a hypothetical kind of fictional scenario example. Okay, because I'm going something through this, trying to break old habits. It just really, today I really said, okay, I just need to stop totally. It's something I've been doing a few years. Get rid of that feeling of dishonesty and all that, and do it the way that, and like I said, some people do this, and a lot of people do this, but just do it the way that feels most comfortable to me. Okay, now I'm in this. But this is just a hypothetical, fictional kind of example that I finally came up with, and that is when you have a pen name. You know, an alias, pseudonym. What are the other words? I had another one, but you get it down this line. And if you had something like that, let's just use pen name. You write under a pen name, and you publish under a pen name. All right, so say that you've been doing it for a few years, and you publish, and you started to get, you became, say, famous. You got on best bookseller list or whatever it is. Now, some people say maybe that might take a lot of years, but we all know that some writers have pen names, but they write under their own, and then they have a pen name. They write under that, or they just write under the pen name, period, and don't write under their own name. So just think of something like that. You know, how it would, for some people, it would benefit that they wrote under a pen name. I mean, old-fashioned days maybe, but nowadays maybe not. But in a way, yeah, it can happen. So think about that. You're writing under a pen name, and it just doesn't feel honest. Because it's not, it's a fictional character, really, a pen name. It's something that you're putting out. Now, the thing about it is, some people say if you write under a pen name, well, no, somebody would know who you are because you put your picture on the back cover of the book. So you don't. You're one of those who doesn't put your picture. So you're like a secret, to people. Everybody wonders who you are. You really are. Or maybe not even that. You just don't put your picture on it. Okay, period. And the reason is because you had written under your real name before, and it just failed. And you had your picture, say, on that. So, and at some point, you started getting, nobody bought your books or whatever, and nobody really knew who you were. So you took a pen name for whatever reason, and you started writing books under that without any picture on the back of the cover, and you started getting that notoriety. You started gaining, a lot of oh my goodness, why can't I say that word today? Oh my goodness. But anyway, you get famous. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so say from there, after a few years go by, say this is just a few years, let's say less than 10 or less, and you start seeing how popular you have become. But like I said, it doesn't feel honest because you're not writing under your real name, and the people who are around you, they don't know that you're writing because you don't tell anybody, and it just feels like you're not living an honest life, where you are who you are. And so you think about changing it. But before you think about changing it, it had gotten really bad for you, because like you would go to some, closer to the end of it, you started going to different places, and maybe you were handing out your business cards as under the pen name, the fake name, and the pen name, and showing that you are the author of this book. Okay. You started getting into that because it was getting you some attention you wanted. But you were, like, say you were somewhere, I don't know, remote, I don't know. But eventually it got out, or maybe it didn't get out. See, there's so much different ways, things that it can happen, or this didn't happen at all, didn't give people their name. Yeah. There's just too many alternatives in this kind of example. But yeah, just let's say that it didn't. You just got all this attention from people knowing who you are. And it just kept getting more and more, and you needed it more and more. And eventually you said, this is just, like I said earlier, this is not me. And people aren't liking me for who I am. People who don't know who I am because I'm writing under a pen name. So you decide that's dishonest. It doesn't feel honest. So you decide to change it. Now this is where I said in other videos, I'm going to go through some of this stuff, is once you once you go out as yourself, you tell people, I'm actually this person. Some people might not believe you, that you're this author. No, why would they believe you? You've been writing under a pen name. Or some people might believe you, and then they show that, like before, say in the case where they did show, well, once you, I was getting myself so mixed up with all this. But you see what I'm saying. I was getting frustrated. But people treated, say if you were one of those who wrote under your actual name, but then you wrote under a pen name, and then your actual one, you showed your picture and everything, and you weren't all that popular. But under the pen name, you were very popular author, okay? And how would it be if some people found out that you are both? You are writing under a pen name. And, then maybe that's what you have the fear of rejection, or the fear of it does, people stop liking you, whatever is the case that goes through your mind. Like I said, future videos. Anyway, but before I get myself even more confused, like I said, I have something like similar to this going on, and I want to do videos on it as I progress through it, and it's not just like something that came up overnight, like I said. But yeah, I'll go through it on different videos, so I hope this guy doesn't bump my car. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up, and like I said, future videos. I'll talk to you on another video.